In this lesson, we're going to work on multi-level lists, which is essentially lists of lists. They're really useful, but they can be a little complex when trying to access specific list elements. So you'll definitely want to watch the coding example after I go through the key concepts. So when we create a single level list, we would do something like my list equals and then square brackets. That's important. You don't want to use parentheses or curly brackets. They have to be square. Otherwise, you get a different data type. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And we would access those list elements with the index of 0, would give you 1. Excuse me, 2. The index level is 1. The index for 3 is 2, and so on. So nested lists contain one or more lists inside them. You can do this almost infinitely, but it gets really clunky really fast. So we have a list of 3 lists of 3. 1, 2, 3 is a list, 4, 5, 6 is a list, 7, 8, 9. So this would be item 0. So this would be list level 0 would be 1, 2, 3, 1 would be 4, 5, 6, and 2 would be 7, 8, 9. That would be your index for each of the different lists. So if we nested the list, so 1 here would be 0, 0, 4 would be 1, then 0, and if we wanted 8, that would be 2, then 1. So it gets a little complicated each level you get into. So you would use that index, the double index there, to change elements of the list. So here, if I were to change the nested list 0 to 1, because we're not defining a type, even though everything else was a number, that doesn't prevent us from putting duck into it, then we would get the value of duck put into list 0, level 1, or index 1. So when you're looping in multi-level lists, you need to have a sub-list in a nested list to nest your for statements. And again, this gets a little clunky and complicated. It's easier when we actually look at the code. So let's go ahead and look at the code now that I've given you an overview.